Hi there, welcome to another episode of ABC Useful Tip. In this short video, we're going to show you all you need to know about Google Form setting. In the past, Google Form setting used to be over here, the top right hand corner of the form, but now form setting is no longer found here. Alright, with the previous setting of in these three categories of general, presentation and quizzes, which most of us are familiar with, and even if you are not, today we're going to show you in this video where is the new setting and what are the different categories of setting, and within each one what are the functions that are available. To be first to be notified of future useful Edu Tech video, please remember to click subscribe at the bottom and also click the notification bell and give us a like and maybe some comments of how you can use it, right? Then we'll dive right in. First of all, we're going to show you step by step how you can access Google Form in your Google account. Just open a Chrome page, any Chrome page, and then at the top right hand corner you can see these 9 dots here. You click on the 9 dots. Alright, you can actually directly just click on form to create a new form, just that it won't be a form that is inside your Google Drive in a general folder. There's no folder at all. So in order to be very certain where you have created a form, it is easier and better for you to click it in, to create the form in the Google Drive by clicking this Google Drive. Just give a click. So in your Google Drive, go into a folder. As I've already gone into this folder, I want to save this or create this form in this folder called Google Form New Setting Location. Alright, and in this location or this folder, then you go to the top left hand corner and click New and go and click on Forms. Alright, and new form will be created in this folder itself, so you will know exactly where to find the form. Alright, so whatever form name you want, you just have to type the name. Alright, new setting location is what we are going to take a look today. Alright, and by clicking at the top left hand corner, that will be the location for the name of your form as the form name when you appear in your Google Drive. So you just have to click on that. It will appear the same name as the title of your form. Alright, so we'll go straight into where the location of the setting is, and that is now right at the top here beside your responses. Alright, in the past it used to be at the top right hand corner beside send. Alright, button. Now it is here at setting. In fact, nothing has much changed. Alright, in fact it is just rearrangement of how the setting different configurations look like. Alright, so we just give a click, okay, and then you will see all the different components right here in these 3 parts. Okay, down here, these 3 parts. Alright, and then you just have to click on the arrow down. You will see the different configurations similar to the past settings. We just go through it step by step with you. Alright, so if you just a normal form for a respondent to key in information, okay, maybe a survey or something without marks or points, then you will keep this the first item here, make this a quiz unclick. So currently it is not click, it is not activated. Alright, so if you want to make it maybe a quiz with points, marks given, then you can click this on. Then marks is given, you can see right on top here, there's 0 mark at the moment. Alright, so there are, since this is for education, then we'll go through this as a format. Okay, so in this case, it will automatically be immediately after each submission, the marks is being released, but it may not be what you want, especially it's open-ended questions involved. You may want to do some marking, alright, or going through yourself before you release mark. Then it is preferred, as my personal preference, to click later after manual review. It will be better no matter what kind of question or paper, try to do this. Unless it is an immediate self-learning platform that you want for student, then you click immediate after each submission. Okay, like I said, most of the time I prefer after manual review. Alright, so the by default it will be with the missed questions that the students can see, the questions that they missed, alright, were answered incorrectly, alright, or the answers that they answer correctly, they will be able to see after it's been released. okay, back to the respondents. Right, the point values is also good to also keep it at available for your students, right? In this case, when it's released. Okay, so there is this form, this item here, default question point at 0. Right, if every single thing that you add a new question is definitely or most of the time 1 marks or 1 point, in this case, you may want to set it at 1. Some of your account, which is Google Education account, it may already be set at 1, all right, by your administrator. Okay, sometimes you do not want to set it at 1. You may want to decide every single question may be different. Then you may want to set it at 0, right? And then you can just vary. Some of them has marks, some of them no marks. Okay, yep. So this is by preference on your own. Okay, so the usual part, which is the responses. Okay, as you can see, if the make this a quiz is being clicked on, all right, the responses will be as such. Okay, you will most of the time automatically collect email addresses, all right, so that you can release the marks. Okay, and then you can choose whether you want to send the responders a copy of their responses. Okay, by clicking this when requested or always. All right, I usually will not send them an email because I usually use Google Classroom to give them my forms. All right, or the quiz in this case. And the next part will be allow respond to edit. Okay, so if you were to allow them to edit, then that means they can click to go back to the same form again and change the answer. By default, it is not allowed. Okay, so sometimes if it's assessment for learning, they should be, after going through the questions they submitted and they want them to actually make changes to their answer, you may want to click allow. All right, most of the time if it's not test kind of quiz, I would allow them to make edit. Okay, and this is also one thing that I would like to do, that is click one respond. Okay, that means they are not requested to click to go into the form again starting from 0. That means one person can submit 2 or 3 times. They usually, as a quiz, I will click this as limit to 1. Okay, that means the students only submit 1 time. Alright. Okay, and then they are allowed to go back and edit. Okay, yeah, so they will see their answers. Alright, every time they click back. Alright, the last but not least portion, the more important one, will be the presentation. Okay, and that will be shown here. You can actually have a few things. These are pretty similar to the past. Okay, show progress bar. Okay, I will usually like to show the student how far they have gone into the quiz. Alright, and shuffle question order, I may not want to do it unless I want to make it like a jumble up questions, but most of the time my quizzes have numbers. If you put numbers in your question, then it is better not to, otherwise it may start with 5 and then go back to 1 again. Okay, it depends on your nature of the quiz. Okay, so I usually will keep this as unclick. Alright, confirmation of messages, sometimes I would like to use my own. Okay, usually by default it is your response has been recollected, recorded, but I would like to do congratulations. And something interesting and appealing. Okay, congratulations, you have completed your fun quiz. Alright, okay, with of course spelling correctly, and then save. Okay, that will be the final message they will receive after they have submitted the form. Right, next, that is whether you want to give them a summary at the end. Right, usually I'll just keep it at default. And this is something new. In my previous video, I've shown that autosave function is now available to all forms. Every form that you send out will be allowed to have autosave. Alright, a little autosave icon at the top right hand of the form. However, you do have the option to disable that. Okay, that means any responder or your student, just whatever they key in, if something happens, they didn't save, they did not submit, it will not be saved. Right, that is in the situation when you want to make sure they submit on the spot. Alright, however, sometimes you want to make sure that whatever they key in are saved, then you just keep it as unclick. Okay, so that is important to make sure it's unclick or click with correct decision made. Okay, so last portion of it is default kind of settings. Will be one, the form default. Usually it will be collecting respondents' emails by default. right? And question defaults will be usually set at make questions required by default. That means required meaning the respondent cannot skip any other questions. That means every time you add a question, by default it will be compulsory. Alright, so okay, I would sometimes make it compulsory, make questions required as default. Alright, but sometime in a quiz that I may get them to jump to different section, I may not want that to be default. Otherwise, they must finish every question before they can go to another section. Okay, so it depends on the plan. Alright, so these are all the different settings that are pretty similar to the past. It's just that now it is at the top. Okay, and just gone through the importance of each one of them. As promised, last but not least, if you are holding or you're in an educational institution that has this Google Educational Upgrade Edition account, alright, your Google Form will be different and a little bit special. If you click the setting, alright, and you see make this a quiz, and you click on the quiz, you will have this special item, alright, for Chromebook setting, alright, and that is called the locked mode. That means your school or institution actually provides Chromebook usage to the students, and they can, using the Chromebook, you can actually lock the form so that when they are in the form, they cannot go into internet or some other pages. Alright, that means they are locked they have to complete the form or the quiz or that in that per se the test before they can move on. This is called the beta mode. Alright, in this case, if you were to click that beta mode, alright, many other things will be locked where the respondents cannot actually the email address will definitely be collected, alright, and all respondents cannot make editing after that. That means it's really submit and that's it. Alright, the answers will be given to you. Alright, yeah, so in that case, and this is a wonderful, awesome function where you can use Google Form as test environment that is safe. The students can't check answers at somewhere else because they will be in the test environment until they submit. Alright, I hope this video is useful for you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Remember to click submit at the bottom, or click submit up there, and in the round button that you will see soon over here. Alright, and see you again. Take care.